Hello. How about now? How about now? Hold on, hold on. Can you hear me? Fuck, really? No sound? Now you hear me. Okay, okay, hold on. Sorry. It's a new mic. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, we're getting super chats already. This is hold on. It's gonna be a fun one today. Hold on, let me make sure my everyone. Hold on. All right. Brittany G. $5 super sticker. Thank you, Brittany. The great Ryan Boss. $4. Thank you. I'm excited about my new mic. Hello, everyone. I don't know who is also going live, but I don't give a rat's ass anymore. I'm going to go live when I want to go live. And if there's 12 people in here, so be it. The fact is, I've already made more money in the 3 minutes and 37 seconds that I've been on than most comedy spots pay. So let me pull up these dastardly allegations. I'm a one-man army here, so. Okay, thank you, Mud Sharks Unite. I mean, I hope nobody's on. But at some point, you got to go on. Yes, where's Waldo? It's funny you say that, Brittany. When I played in a hockey tournament, I didn't wear a helmet. See you, Dave. And I wore this beanie, and I have a really hard shot. So the whole time, people were saying, "Don't let Waldo shoot. Don't let Waldo shoot." Yes, people. If you want to know how to help, and you can't tip the bartender, as William Zoom would say, um, please hit subscribe and turn on the notifications. And then people find out about Ryan is great. This is all about the algorithm. All about it. I'm not liking ESPN's take on this. Let me go to CNN. They're always on top of things. I mean, here's the thing. Vince McMahon has been accused of sexual harassment since the mid 80s. If you remember when he went on Phil Donahue, of all shows, Phil Donahue, I mean, that show hasn't been on the air in 40 fucking years. And the ring announcer, I think, was accusing Vince of covering up some homosexual. I don't want to get my stream taken down. Advances made on him that Vince was covering up. So in this case, we have a former WWE staffer, Miss Grant, accusing Vince of some pretty nasty things. Yes, Pat Patterson and the Ring Boys. Uh, for those of you who aren't in the know about who Pat Patterson is, he's a longtime wrestler, and after he retired, he had basically a permanent job um, for the WWE and WWF, and he's well known to be gay, and that's fine. But like, he was also known to have possibly used his job to lure ring boys to, do whatever. And also, certain wrestlers um, have said that he hinted that if they played ball with him, their careers would advance quicker than if they didn't. Sid actually tells a story that, and now Sid Vicious is probably legit 6'7", 6'8", at the time, probably well over 300 pounds and jacked. And he said that they were on a balcony and Pat Patterson tried to like put a move on him. Like, he got him in a wrist lock under the guise of, hey, let me teach you how to do a wrist lock. You're not very good at it. And let's just say his dick was involved in the art of the wrist lock, you pervert. Um, and Sid got out of it pretty fast because he's quite a bit bigger than um, Pat Patterson. Digital Bather, $5. Thank you very much. Met Vince in 2014 when I was deployed. Escorted him, Big Show, R-Truth, and a few divas around the base. Have a poster of a pic of us in my man cave. Good for you, Digital Bather. Um, you know, I mean, it's hard to make light of the situation. I mean, the allegations are so fucking horrific that group sex, basically rape, um, defecation. Vince McMahon shit on her head or something. And like, when I first read that, I laughed, and then I'm like, that's not very funny. Um, but it's unfortunately it's he said, she said. And in these type of situations, it's just like, I think she said the threesome with, I believe it was John Laurinaitis, um, happened in like Vince's side office, with only the three of them in there. So like, who do you believe? Like, I'm assuming there's not cameras in there, so you're basically taking her word against his word. And I mean, I mean, it's kind of hard to convict, because there's really no evidence. And, um, it's you have to listen to her side, and she seems pretty credible. I mean, these are pretty hard things to make up. And you look at Vince's reputation, and certainly the WWE's reputation over the last 40 years. Like I said, I mean, this has been going on since Phil Donahue's show. Um, it's not like you hear the allegations and go, no way. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Um, I'm trying to get to some of the, I mean, I don't want to get the stream taken down, but I mean, I don't know if we can even talk about the allegations. Um, there's talk about, feces in the hair. Um, it's just, and there's Brock Lesnar, naked pictures, which I don't know the law if we have any lawyers um, in the chat. Um, but if Vince McMahon, who I probably would guess is in Connecticut, and Brock Lesnar's in Minnesota, and he sends nude photos across state lines. I don't know if that's illegal or not, but if it is, there's going to be a lot of people in trouble in my world. Um, I did not know that, Mr. Alex. I mean, life is beautiful. I mean, that's a controversial take. Um, I don't, you know, I think both sides should be heard, um, which is important. And you make your own decision, you know. Um, I don't think Vince's reputation is going to help him. Doesn't mean he's guilty in this particular case, but I don't think you can generalize. I mean, there certainly are evil men, evil women. Um, innocent till proven guilty. Um, I mean, I don't know if I agree with you on that. Life is beautiful. What's up, William Zoom? Um, and like Ghetto says, and this is why I want this conversation. And we're getting the opposing viewpoints. He's also paid off several women in the past, um, so that doesn't look good. Doesn't mean he's guilty in this particular case, but um, it's. Thank you, Ryan Boss. Well, I mean, I've had an ex-girlfriend tell people I threw her down a flight of stairs, and you know, uh, I think what saved me was my reputation. Even people who didn't think that was funny, which is probably a fair amount of people. They were like, "Hey, man, you're a lot of things, Earl, but we know you didn't do it." And this particular girl, had a behavior pattern of accusing exes, like, so, you know, that's why I'm a little passionate about this subject. Like, all sides should be heard, and you make your own decision. Um, Vince is a creep. Well, I gave up talking about it. Chili boot. Is that chili boots? Sorry, I just woke up, so my visions ain't the best. Um, but just because Vince is a creep doesn't mean he's guilty here. Um, I mean, you know, I mean, boy, that's a tough one. Like, if you order that video game, you're indirectly giving Vince money. So, well, I mean, Ghetto. I mean, he's definitely a weird guy, Ghetto, no doubt about that. Well, I mean, I don't think Vince is going to have a lot of support in terms of people. Life is beautiful. Going, hey, he's a great guy. Um, you know, I've known a lot of people who have worked over there, and he's kind of a dick. And the older he's gotten, the worse he's gotten. Now, once again, doesn't mean he's guilty in this circumstance, but I don't think he's gonna have a lot of character witnesses in his corner. Hello, Greg. Hello, Greg. Um, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Uh, I mean, it's just. I mean, I don't know how good her lawyers are. Vince is an army of lawyers. The WWE, 100%, Greg. I try and read all the questions, whether they're super chats or not. It's tough. I mean, I have 31 people in here. That's pretty good for me. So I do appreciate you guys, hitting the likes and the super chats and super stickers already. I do appreciate that. Um, and I mean, it's just like wild. I'm going to be curious to see if AEW tomorrow night on Collision um, lets Vince signs that, if I were Tony Khan, I'd be paying people to hold up Vince signs. Um, well, I mean, I said, Ghetto, I said that this morning talking with my friend. I mean, like, can you imagine the shit that happened in the 80s? I mean, there's that one case of the guy going on Phil Donahue accusing Vince of cover ups and whatnot. Um, but pro wrestling in the mid 80s was buck wild. And the 90s, it was pretty aggressive. Um, it's going to be, yeah, and all this right before the Royal Rumble. I mean, I'm going to guess, Megan, that the WWE will not be allowing Vince signs unless they're pro Vince. I can imagine AEW kind of looking the other way. Hey, I didn't see that. I mean, I think my favorite wrestling sign ever was a long, long time ago. It got taken down pretty fast on Monday Night Raw. It just said Vince McMahon is a homo. Of course, predators tend to stick together. I mean, there's many. I mean, Piper, uh, you know, hinted about the backstage shenanigans. I mean, I've been backstage at a WrestleMania. It's pretty wild back there, man. And I didn't see any sexual stuff, but like you've got all these beautiful bodied people walking around half naked or naked, and I'm sure they're pretty horned up. And if Vince or Triple H or any executive walks through, and a new diva, is young and a little green around the gills in terms of the industry. Um, I could see Me Too type stuff happening. Yeah, the plane ride from hell. I mean, that's I don't even think we really got the full story on that. Um, and I like I said, I've been backstage a fair amount of times at wrestling events, and those guys are like rock stars. So, and the women backstage are definitely, unless there's someone on the level of, say, Trish Stratus or Lita or Saraya, Tony Storm, they're all looking to move up, and most of the executives are fucking creepy dudes. Creepy old men like Vince and Larry Nidus and Pat Patterson, and I mean, I don't know if the Briscoe brothers have done ever anything illicit, but they're guys of that age creeping on a diva who's 22 years old or whatever. Well, I mean, I don't know if she needed money or not, but I mean, in terms of the lawsuit, but um, it doesn't, the optics of Vince kind of looking like Harvey Weinstein now aren't good either. Um, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. It's some Weinstein-like behavior, greeting her in her underwear, and I can only imagine what the corporate offices of WWE at that time were. I mean, it's probably the Wild West. And Vince wants what he wants, and he gets what he wants usually. So I hope that justice is served. Um, and like I said, all sides should be heard, and then you look at any corroborating evidence on either side of guilt or innocence, and let the ball roll where it rolls. Well, I think William, she got paid like $1 million. She was supposed to get three, and he stopped paying. Um, so that's kind of an interesting sidebar. The great Jordan the Lion in the house. Welcome. Check out Jordan's travel vlog, the top travel vlog on YouTube. And it's not just a travel vlog like, hey, I went to Chicago. He talks about his life and does a lot of cool shit. Yeah. I mean, those NDAs are pretty tough to get out of, to be honest with you. So the fact that she got out of it or just said "fuck it, I'm going to talk" is like, to me, it would indicate where there's smoke, there's fire. But we'll see, and hopefully, I mean, like I said, I don't imagine Vince having great character witnesses, um, and can you imagine if Hakeem has to be called in? My brothers, I did not see no rapes, you fools. Um, yeah, I mean, but they are pretty hard to get out of. Yeah, 100%, Jordan. Um, well, I mean, when you look at uh, you know all the cases in the past, rumored and not rumored. Um, I mean, it's funny, the Ultimate Warrior. I'm not talking about his political beliefs because those were a little wacky, but when he talked bad about Vince and Hogan and all these other guys, and he's just shooting to get some views or likes. But now, you know that he's dead, and you look back at some of his videos, he was pretty much on the money on these people. Uh, so it's just I have a feeling we're going to hear more, and hopefully this Miss Grant is kind of like the Rose McGowan in this case, where after Rose McGowan came out, a whole bunch of people came out and said, "Hey, this happened to me, and that happened to me," and um, uh, well, I mean, I think Warrior was just. I don't think he was bitter, but he was just super honest. Now, I don't like the the gay bashing he did in some of his political speeches, but like that's another podcast. Um, but I think I'm talking about his wrestling, shoot videos. He was pretty on the money. And a lot of people at the time would just say, "Oh, he's bitter, man. He's just angry that that 3 DVD set of the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior." I'd be pretty pissed too if Roast Battle came out with a 3 DVD uh, set. Well, they're so fucking cheap. They'd probably come out with a 3 laser disc set just to save a little money. on me, I'd be pretty angry too. But um, I mean, it's just so wild. The fact that if it is true, just the boldness of doing this, the threesome with the shitting in the head thing, in the middle of the day in an office where there's probably 100 people outside the door. Um, you know, it's just untouchable. And if you look at the world of WWE or really just pro wrestling in general, Vince McMahon is pretty untouchable. Like people have been coming at him for years, since the one guy on Phil Donahue to this. And he just um now I had a lawyer friend of mine message me today saying that she doesn't necessarily agree with the sex trafficking. Um, so let me pull up what they said. Not uh, my own privacy, not. Um, I mean, this is what sex trafficking is. Sex trafficking is the recruitment, harboring, transportation, provision, obtaining, patronizing, or soliciting of a person for the purpose of a commercial sex act, in which a commercial sex act is induced by force, fraud, or coercion, or in which the person inducted to perform such an act has not attained the age of 18. So it is kind of I don't know. I mean, I guess you could say she was being sex trafficked for Brock Lesnar, but she was above the age of 18. So um I don't know. That's kind of one of those legal semantics, if you will, um, of potato, potato. I mean, if I were Vince, I'd be more worried. I know some comic, I forget who it was. I probably opened for them on the road, to be honest with you. Um, Sent nude pictures while he was in Canada to his friends in Los Angeles, and I think they went after him for porn over state lines. So I mean, they could go after him for that, maybe, but you know, it's going to be interesting, to see how this plays out. Now, I don't know how much money she has behind her. She might have gotten a lawyer who, saw the headlines and the publicity that he or she could get from this, and it might be pro bono. Wait a minute, hold on. We're getting Ryan Boss, $20 super sticker, and Ryan Boss another $10. Ryan Boss is now the all-star in chat. Thank you. I think I explained my relationship with Ryan Boss. We almost got into a fight playing hockey many years ago, and now we're best friends. I did win. Is this the real Win by Two radio? If it is, hello, welcome. I don't want to touch the mic, but I did. I didn't get it. Well, I've had this mic. I just never had the proper cable. It's actually, I don't even know what it's called, to be honest with you. A blue mic. Now to my right, oh shit! Everyone, check out Win by Two Radio. Um, they do breakdowns on a Melton NLO like level, and yeah, hold on. I don't want to press the mute button. Now the mic to my right is the Neumann T103 mic. That's what I use for my voiceover auditions. I'm not trying to impress you. I think the blue mic, I think, was around $150. Now my Shure mics that I use for my podcast when I have guests here, um, they were about, I think, 100. And the Neumann 103, I got at Guitar Center for about $1,200. It's beyond high end. Now, 1x2 Radio could probably explain the intricacies of the mics. And I'm sorry about the construction next door. Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess I could do that. Hold on. It's not a great. Okay, we'll see if I can do this. That's the Neumann mic. No, sorry about the angle, but I can explain this. I didn't think about this at the time when by two, but I have hardwood floors. You can see them like right there. And this mic is so high end, as I know you know, that it picks up everything. I mean, if I were to, this is my desk cleaning towel, but this mic is so high end. If I were to drop this towel, I'll wait for the fucking construction next door to stop. I'm dropping this towel now. Now, you might have heard it, you might not have heard it. This thing would have acted like a bomb blew up. It's so, it picks up everything. So it's actually not the best mic, but I do book a lot of gigs on it. Or not, I mean, I book enough. Oh, I bet. I mean, what kind of mics do you use? And once again, everyone, see, this is what I want my chat to be about. Everyone support 1x2 Radio. I would say the three shows I listen to the most are MLC, NLO, and 1x2. And I listen to Zumach. We got some incoming chats. I want. He's doing a line from Cobra. So since you paid $5, Ross Incognito, $4.99. I want your eyes, pig. Pew, pew, pew. See, I'll do what the fans want. That's a line from Cobra, those of you who aren't listening. Greg Lambert from is that Australia or Austria? Either way. Skakemeister, thoughts on Vince's scat fetish? I mean, I've only had I know, I'm the worst person in the world to talk about tech stuff. I mean, Win by Two is far more qualified, but my needs are simple. If I had the ability to move my thing down when I do voiceover auditions, let's see if I can pick. Sorry, I guess I can. It goes through that mixer into this H4n Zoom, and then I just put it in Adobe Audition. Whoa, sorry about that visual. I can't go any lower. You got to pay for the rest. And who knows? This might be my new time. I'm 37 people in here. That's a lot for me. So, I mean, I don't have a Joe Rogan setup here, but it's nice enough. Gets the job done. I'm upgrading my camera. Well, I win by two. I kind of am, but I don't know how any of it works. Like I'm getting probably a new iMac. So, and then I'm going to put a 4K camera on top. So the The optical presentation is a little better than what I have now. I mean, and then the next step is to uh, move the podcasts and voiceover studio upstairs in a fully carpeted room. Once I sell most of my memorabilia, I have a large sports memorabilia collection. So the background, you'll still see the Earl sign and the Earl painting. And I'm in talks to get another neon sign, Daddy Man. So Jordan Yates. Hello, Jordan. That is true. That is true. Oh yeah, I mean, I would. I danger Jason McMaster, Dangerous Toys. Oh, I don't care if he's recording this. Um, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, yeah, I mean, obviously my internet's pretty bad, but I'm having a friend come over and uh, check it out. I mean, I don't want to bore you guys with the same stories, but the West Hollywood internet just is not good. But I have seen AT&T doing commercials for fiber optic being available in my neighborhood, so that would help me out a lot. Um, I can't afford those Hunter Biden paintings. Well, One by Two Radio, my favorite band is the '80s band Rat. If you look up the band Rat, RATT, it's the font is that. So I took, and now I don't get a plug for this, or I don't get an endorsement for this. So I went to this neon sign company on Melrose called Radical Neon. It's the word radical, but with a K instead of a C. And I said, "Can you?" Because the font is kind of like shaved off lettering, and I thought, "Oh, they won't be able to do a neon sign like that, but with my name." And the guy's like, "Yeah, that's no problem." 2 days later, it was ready. $496. I'm not trying to impress you guys, just uh, you know, I like it because I know the background of my kitchen is not probably the most alluring thing to you guys. Peter Chicken Man Brennan, when is Vince's roast battle set? Vince would have loved the store during the dark years. Yes, he would, to be honest with you. Yes, he would. Um, well, you're young. I mean, win by two. I'm just looking at you. I would guess you're in your late 20s, early 30s. Uh, but you probably heard the song Round and Round. I could sing a little bit for you. Round and round. Well, love will find a way, just give it time. Round and round. What goes around comes around. I'll tell you why I did it. Looking at you, looking at me, the way you move. You know it's easy to see the neon lights on you tonight. I got a way to prove it tonight, like Romeo to Juliet. You get the picture. Um, Lay It Down. You want me to sing Lay It Down? What is this, karaoke? It's 11:40 in the morning. I mean, my voice is as deep. My voice is deepest in the morning. I mean, I do have a good voice. I'll see if I can sing a little Lay It Down for you. I know you don't really know me. I know you don't really care to see me. I'm into total affection, not being scared that you'll never tease me. You know you really want to lay it down. right now and how. I know you really want to lay it down. Guitar solo by Warren DeMartini and drop D tuning, but I don't want to get too technical with you. Now, the other night, or maybe about 3 weeks ago, and once again, follow my friends in chat, Days with Jordan the Lion, the number one travel vlog on YouTube, and check out Win by Two Radio. I don't think a lot of people are funny, but I'm a fan of people like Win by Two and Melton and NLO for the deep dives and the clips um, that they do on other shows. It's just I can't do that stuff. If you asked me to pull up a video right now, I would have no idea how to do it. Um, so I'm the lowest. I mean, I'm not in the Dabbleverse, as you guys know, but I'm a fan of all the technical proficiencies shown by the big ones. You know, Carl and Shuley and all those guys. It's just they are Win by Two, and I think Melton's an OG podcaster, so I try and stay out of the feuds. But Dingbat, welcome. I think you're new to the. Yeah, I mean Jordan's another one who if you look at Jordan's videos, like they're all edited perfectly, and um, I don't have great computer skills. Um, I'm just trying to get the best Wi-Fi I can, so it's presentable. Because I know if people are, I'm honest, so I know like when the Dabbleverse takes shots at me uh, for my background, there's not a lot I can do about that. Have I ever thought of joining a band? No, I don't have a lot of musical talent, and my voice only works for certain songs, like Springsteen songs I could pull off. I do a mean version of Thunder Road. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, what does that sound like? Screen door slams, Mary's dress sways. Like a vision, she dances across the porch as the radio plays. Roy Orbison singing for the lonely. Hey, that's me, and I want you only. Don't turn me home again, I just can't face myself alone. Don't you run back inside, darling, you know just what I'm here for. So you're scared and you're thinking that maybe we ain't that young anymore. Well, show a little faith, there's magic in the night. You ain't a beauty, but hey, you're all right. You get the picture. Well, my voice is deeper in the mornings, which is why I wake up at ungodly hours to do voiceover auditions. Because I am in the worst and best um, category you can be, and that's deep baritone. There's only like 10 of us in Hollywood who work. What you think? That's great. We have a 1 in 10 chance. What are the odds? But um, you all of those 10 actors, they all work. Like I'm probably the least working actor of that group, and I work a lot. Um, it's Billy Brown, the black actor who you guys would probably know him most from playing August Marks in Sons of Anarchy. I'm going up against Rob Riggle. As many of you know, my ex-fiance used to work for him. Dylan McDermott, uh, James Earl Jones. Now, James Earl Jones doesn't audition; he's offered the part. Darth Vader doesn't have to audition. So I have to hope all those guys I just named are busy. And then I and about maybe 3 or 4 other baritone guys are going at it. Like I just sent in an audition to this morning, and I can't say what it's for. They're very secretive in the voiceover world, so that's why I can't really tell anyone any of my projects until they're out. That's why I can laugh about having 13 Patreon subscribers, or maybe if I'm lucky, I'll make $100 on a live stream, which I'm happy with. Like I really am, because my super chat and Patreon money is voiceovers. So you know, I'm good with that. And obviously my comedy, like I'll be at the comedy store tomorrow night. When by two, I'm concentrating more on YouTube right now. So DM me on Instagram. I'll send you something for you to peruse. See, that's how bad of a businessman I am. My friend went by two is saying, "Hey, I want to subscribe to your Patreon." I'm saying, DM me on Instagram. I'll send you something for free. Put it this way: I'll send you something on Instagram if you like it. Then hit the Patreon. But I'm really loving the YouTube streams because, and I know the Jeep is starting very well. Thank you, Williams Jim. I have to give it back in a month. It's a lease. I'm honest. Um, and by the way, you can follow me, not just one by two, but everyone at Earl Skakel. It's pretty, I'm Earl Skakel everywhere. So EARLSKAKEL. And then, oh, thank you, Digital Bather. I appreciate, I've spent so much time trying to get the stream going to an acceptable level that um, I haven't forgotten my Patreon. Like I'm starting to put my longer stand-up clips on there. Like the Comedy Store made me take down my 45-minute set on from YouTube, which I literally was in tears when I had to hit delete. But I'm low man on the totem pole there, to be honest, so I had to take it down. But I put that 45-minute set up on Patreon, and I also put a recent 15-minute set. So I hope that you can um, enjoy that. Can you show us some of those DVDs? Look like a gnarly collection. What DVDs went by two? I don't have any DVDs. I've got wrestling dolls. Uh, 55 years old, and I collect wrestling dolls. I don't give a fuck. I like wrestling, so I like to support my friends. Um, yeah, I don't have any DVDs. One by two. Are you looking at? Oh, those are the CDs that you're talking about over there. I have CDs. If anyone wants to come to my palatial estate in West Hollywood, you can have them. I'm probably pretty easy to. I think I'm listed in the white pages. So, um, I mean, I've loaded them all into my iMac, so I don't need the physical CDs. But I would say, well, I mean, it's probably I'd guess 500. Up there are some of my hockey trophies, my 3 fantasy football trophies. I won my league 3 years in a row because I was a maniac. I'm very competitive, so fantasy football was a wild time. But I'm such a Steeler fan that I had to quit playing. Um, I mean, I actually like buying physical CDs. Well, I'm a Steeler fan, chili boots, but I mean, something about Mahomes, man, he still has it, and Kansas City may not be the same, but they're good. I've actually never met Ray DeVito, but I like him. I used to go on his show all the time, but I stopped being a guest uh, on all Dabbleverse shows just because, I mean, well, I know you know this one by two, uh, but I don't want to be a part of Stream Snipes. You know, I mean, I was going to judge the Stevie Lou Chad battle, but I think that's off. So I would take a Foster Brooks award. That would mean I'm funny. Um, so I really like working alone. I do Pat Dixon's podcast from time to time because I don't think Pat's really in the Dabbleverse. He's more Dabbleverse adjacent. But I like this. You know, I like my stream just because, like I want to. I just have nothing to add to the Stuttering John stuff or the various feuds and whatnot. You know, I think the last time I was on MLC, I was pretty quiet, just because I got nothing to contribute. Like if I judge a roast battle on MLC, I'm out in about 40 minutes, and there are guests that are just far better than I am. In terms of, Stevie Lou can stay on for 4 hours and be fine. I struggle after about an hour. Oh, you found me on Adam Carolla. Oh, thank you, Digital Bather. Yeah, I loved being on uh, Adam Carolla. Like I was a little nervous the first 20 minutes, um, because I didn't know Adam's pacing. But after a while, I noticed that he would look at me when he wanted me to talk, like he'd kind of like go like that, and so I picked up on that, and I think I was better the last half than the first half. Um, will you watch that? Which Taylor Swift watching NFL? I will watch it. I mean, I don't hate Taylor Swift because I hear friends of mine who work for her that she's really nice and she gives out like these huge bonuses to her like truck drivers and shit. So I always like people who are nice. Yeah, the Comedy Store Wrestling podcast was fun because I didn't have to do anything. I literally just had to go to the Comedy Store, which I do a lot, go down to the podcast room and be funny for an hour. But I'll be honest with you, the numbers just weren't there. Like we were lucky if maybe we got a couple hundred views, and we got good guests. Like we got a lot of AEW guests. We got Chris Van Leet, RJ City, Big Bill, Taya Valkyrie, Rocky Romero. I mean, if you like pro wrestling, you'll know these names. But it just didn't work, for whatever reason. I mean, I will say I don't think they promoted us that well. Like, if they would have put us on the Comedy Store's Instagram main page and go, hey, check out Comedy Store Wrestling, I think that would have helped. Win by Two Radio. Who are 5 comics podcasters you dislike? It's going to sound like I'm getting out of the question and by two, but I only dislike people if they fuck me over. So I don't do the Dabbleverse thing of just saying, well, this person's a dick, just for the effect. I mean, I would say Jeff Ross is absolutely number one on my hit list. I think everyone knows that. I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, I pretty much get along with everyone. There's not really anyone that I dislike because I only dislike people if they burn me. And the truth is, very few people burn me. Uh, yeah, I mean, a digital bather, I had no idea. I didn't realize this, but when I walked in the studio, I walked right by it. He has that framed picture of Cobra. So, I think me and Adam are around the same age. So we're going to like a lot of the same shit. And the fact that I randomly brought up Dexter Manley, I think he thought I was lying because I guess the episode before someone else had brought up Dexter Manley. He's like, you listen to the show, don't you? I'm like, no, I'm a big Dexter Manley fan. So win by two, really, um, That's really, the only guy I don't like in terms of podcasters. I don't listen to other podcasts really outside of you, Melton, and, MLC, so, I mean, you guys have roasted me a little bit, but, you know, I'm okay with that. Thank you, Chili Boots, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, Holtzman would be a great, wrestling announcer, like, he'd be like a great Jesse Ventura type color guy. So, but I'm trying to win by 2. I'm trying to think if there's gotta be someone else I don't like. But, for me to not like you, I have to respect you as a comic to care enough to not like you. And I don't respect that many people. Um, I'm trying to yeah, I just Jeff is about the only guy. Well, and his manager, does she count? Because she was in cahoots with him too on certain things. But, that's about it. I'm I'm a pretty positive guy. Like, I'm happy with my comedy and voiceover stuff, and do I wish I was more known? Yeah, absolutely. Do I wish I was Matt Rife playing theaters? Absolutely. But, I'm on a good path, I mean, really, the main reason I'm doing the stream isn't for super chat money or whatever. It's to just build my name up so people wanna come see me. Um there was a time when Matt Rife couldn't get booked anywhere other than the Laugh Factory, and that's because he ran a show there. And now he's playing any theater he wants. So, uh, you know, I could be the 55-year-old Matt Rife. Well, I mean, I think Jon Stewart's pretty anti-MAGA, but that could rile up the base. Um, you know, I think the Trump fan base is really like the kid. It's funny. I'm wearing a Kiss shirt. And I think the Trump fan base is really like the Kiss fan base. Like Kiss has never had like a 10 million selling album like say Metallica, because Kiss has their core fan base and that's it. And I think it's similar to the Trump fan base. Trump has never really expanded his base. Um, so there's that. That's my political take. Um, but I think Kiss's highest selling album was maybe Alive, which ironically enough, this is a Kiss Alive uh, Japanese shirt. Arigato, konnichiwa. Eleanor, love you, Earl. That's big. Yes, 100%. Are you a Biden guy? I am not, but I'm not a Trump guy either. Even though I voted for him in the last election, because his financial policies, listen, he's a piece of shit as a person, but I don't vote for who's ever the nicest guy. Um, but I think this is the worst election we've ever had. An 80-year-old and a 77-year-old. And when RFK Jr., who is my cousin, in full disclosure, his mom is my dad's sister. Uh, when he's like the third best candidate and he's in his mid 60s, that's why I kind of had hope for Vivek Ramaswamy, 39. Okay, the guy's going to be 40. Like, that'd be cool to have a 40-year-old president. But man, he's like right out of, you know, uh, Art Bell and George Norrieville with some of his, theories. What was that Art Bell show at night? Coast to Coast. Yeah, I love talking about wrestling, and there's my Sting doll right there. Yeah, it really is the worst election since the last election. But I think this is going to be worse. Like you just see how Trump is behaving in court. Even today, he walked out. Um, and you know, I he's gonna lose this case, and probably I think Eugene Carroll is looking for 12 million for libel. That's pretty small in comparison to what the federal charges could. I think they say a $250 million fine. So um yeah, I mean, he said he would do my podcast, William. So but he's so busy, we have not been able to coordinate. But my first question, when I interview RFK Jr., it would be a lot like when I interviewed Tommy Morris, the talent coordinator of the Comedy Store, who was fired a couple years ago. Actually, 10 years ago. It's crazy how time flies. Thoughts on the Minnesota Wild? Sorry, I just saw that, Chili Boots. They got some issues. They still got a lot of dead contracts. I'm still worried about the Kings, man. We're in a free fall, and we're playing Colorado tonight. Woo! Um, let's see. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss any questions. I did like Destroyer. That's a good album. Um, I mean, I would say their best album was Kiss Alive, even though it wasn't really a live album. Shit. Um, Kiss Alive is about alive as Julius Caesar, but Kiss Alive was really the album that broke them. Their first three records didn't sell at all. I mean, they were probably looking at calling it a day, but then I think Bill Coyne, their manager, was like, "You guys are so good live." I mean, he probably was like, "Your music's okay, but live, you guys, Kiss is a lot like hockey. You can watch hockey on TV and it's a cool sport, but you go to a hockey game live, you're like, this is fucking amazing. You just pick up on all the things you don't see on TV. So, um, that's why I like Kiss Alive a little better than anything else. I mean, but I will say some of their lesser, I mean, like my favorite Kiss album is Crazy Nights, which most hardcore fans would say is their worst album, but I love those Desmond Child sloppy, uh, ballads and the keyboards, and Ron Nevison producing, who had just engineered Heart's Comeback. Um, but Creatures of the Night is, I think, the best Kiss album, because it got them. They were hungry, they were losing money, they were desperate, and you could feel it. Like they went all in on that record. And I believe it still only went gold, but I don't think the Elder went gold. And I do like Unmasked, though. That's a album that's near and dear to me because it sounds like a Cars album, and I love the Cars. Keyboards and backing vocals. And no, I'm not going to sing a song from Unmasked. I mean, I could sing Shandy a little bit, but I don't know all the words. I just can't pretend no more. I keep running out of lies. Loving you is killing me inside. Every time and then I forget the rest, to be honest with you. I think Chris Jericho does a Kiss tribute band that only plays their 80s stuff. I mean, I love Kiss in the 80s. I mean, I would say from I mean, really, Kiss did something that I don't think any band's ever done. One, 4 straight albums, they had a different lead guitar player, which is crazy to me. You had Ace Frehley on The Elder, um, a number of guitar players on Creatures of the Night, but I mean, Vinnie Vincent was, I think, on 3 songs on Creatures of the Night, and then fully on Lick It Up, and then Mark St. John on Animalize, and then Bruce Kulick on Asylum. Like, I don't think a band has ever done that. 4 albums and 4 different guitar players. Um, that's pretty wild. So, and then they change musical styles on, I think, like literally close to 10 straight albums. So, like, if you look at, Dynasty, that was a disco album. The, Unmasked was, basically a Cars album, and The Elder was, like, their version of Pink Floyd. Um, Creatures of the Night was kind of a Judas Priest, Iron Maiden vibe, and then, Lick It Up was kind of, a grittier version of Judas Priest, and then Animalized was, the raunchy lyrics was, different. Asylum, Kiss was in full fucking B. Arthur mode. Crazy Nights was basically Kiss trying to sound like Bon Jovi. Um, Hot in the Shade was really an all demos album. I don't think any band's ever done that before. And then Creatures of the Night, or I'm sorry, Revenge was essentially them getting back to their, rock and roll roots. And then Carnival of Souls was a fucking grunge album. So I don't think a band has ever. Kiss was definitely um, followers, not leaders, in terms of albums. Um, Tigger, I don't really talk about the Dabbleverse in here, but I don't know what happened to Joey C. I think somebody yesterday was going over the. I think it was Melton and maybe the potato or the corn. I was only listening, I wasn't watching. Went over and intimated that the hospital picture may be fake. I have a rule: all Dabbleverse questions, $10 and up. That's how bad I don't want to talk about the Dabbleverse. Because, like I said, I don't have a lot to add to it. Um, I've heard of the band Ghost, never seen them, but I hear they're very good live. Oh, I mean, well, I mean, let's try and avoid phony death reports. Mud Sharks Unite. I mean, I think I did one show with Joey C on Little Mir and Dr. Chow. He was nice to me. Going back to Win by Two's question, he was nice to me, so I got no beef with the guy. Um, I don't know how long term it's going to play out for him. And what I mean by that is, when you and I'll talk about the Dabbleverse in this regard for a minute. There's a lot of established comics in the Dabbleverse. You've got, Melton's been doing comedy for 20 plus years, Shuley 20 plus years, Chad 20 plus years, um, Kevin 30 years probably, Bob 35 years. Um, Mike Morris has been doing it a very long time. Um, I think Steel Toe is not a comic, but like he's been doing his radio show or whatever for a long time. So a blister, I don't know what you mean by that. A Win by Two is nice to me. That's all I go by. And I watch his show. I love to take naps listening to either MLC, NLO, or Win by Two. Because even though I'm not in the Dabbleverse, I do enjoy. I'm a voyeur of it, I guess you'd say. Like I've stopped being a guest on all Dabbleverse shows just because I don't want to be in the middle of the snipe streams, start shitting on me. And you guys know this about me. I don't do the Zoom roasting. You want to roast me? It's to my face on stage in front of people. I mean, Dingbat, anything's possible. I mean, I don't want to rip off Red Band because I think I'm a very loyal person. So but yeah, I mean, they could definitely do that. Um, I mean, like I have a spot there tomorrow night. If anyone's local in Los Angeles, hit me up on Instagram at Earl Skakel, and I'll make sure you get to see me. I believe I'm what they call closing out the main room in the Holtzman Kinnison Brody's spot, so I'm pretty excited. It's usually a fun time on a Saturday night. Um, I mean, the comedy stores, I mean, I guess it's a tie now with the mothership for being the number one club in the world. So I'm pretty happy I'm involved in it. And please come anytime as my guest. And see me live. I'm like Kiss in hockey. You got to see me live. I could tell you guys a joke right now. You may laugh, you might not laugh. But I tell it live and you see me in the leather pants and the custom jacket. It's like, okay, this guy's funny. Do you like the food at the Rainbow Bar and Grill? I do. My top 3 Italian restaurants in Los Angeles, and they're not, yeah, I guess they are Italian. Dantana's, which is right next door to the Troubadour. Amazing. And what I love about it is the service. There's not one actor in there. It's the bartender's been there for 30 years. The maitre d's are professional maitre d's. The waiters, all professional waiters. And the food's top notch. And then Jones, which is reopening after a car drove into the front of it on it's basically Santa Monica and just west of La Brea. It's like I almost think of them and Dantana's as brother sister restaurants. I mean, they're competitors, but like it's a very similar vibe, very dark in there, which I love. Both places, great place to take a date. And then the Rainbow is the best, probably the best pizza in town, arguably. The burger's really good, and the salad, the lettuce is so fucking fresh, man. It's great. They've had some bad publicity recently, just because I think they're named in a lawsuit that basically says they allowed Ron Jeremy to run rampant there. So not sure what's going to happen there. Um, I would love to host it. Um, let's get a campaign to get me at the mothership. Do you ever do gigs on the East Coast, Earl? Also, do you have yellow fever like Red Band? I don't know what yellow fever is, bro. Um, is he going out or is it me? No, my well, go get some lunch. Hit your refresh. My Wi-Fi is it cannot get any better. So it's probably you, AP. Hit refresh and that usually works. Do I ever do gigs on the East Coast? I'll be straight with you, only if they pay real well. And in terms of comedy clubs and theaters, I'm at a weird level of fame. Like I'm known, but I'm not known. So like I was just offered a theater gig. Oh, I see what you're saying. I just woke up an hour ago, Tigger. So I one of my longtime girlfriends was 6.5 years Asian, and I love Red Band's girl. Like I just got offered a theater gig in Tennessee. So, but in terms of like playing a comedy club, it has to pay really well. And I've told this story before, but I see a lot of new people in chat, so I'll tell it one more time. Um, well, good for your friend, I guess, Santos. This is why I don't do the road that much. Like I was offered a couple months ago a gig in Florida, 7 shows, $5,000. 1,000 of that was for air travel. So basically 4,000 for performing. 5,000 total. So it's a 4.5 hour flight to Florida for me. You got to get to LAX 2 hours early. It takes me about a half hour to get to LAX. Um, and the plane ride back is 5.5 hours. So it's 10 hours in the air, 2.5 hours going and getting to LAX. And that's before any work has been done. Then each show, 7 shows. Now, when I headline, I do about an hour and 15 minutes, sometimes longer. if it's the late show. You can't do really longer in the early show because you got to clean the room for the late show. But let's say anywhere from 8 to 10 hours of performing. So that's 18 hours of uh, work. You know, going back home, it's probably about an hour because it's a smaller airport. So you're looking at anywhere from for that $5,000, it's 21 to 24 hours. Um, Whereas I did, I think the week before I got that offer, a voiceover gig, a pilot season. Now, usually you just do a pilot, which is one episode, and they shop it around and networks and whatnot. And most pilots never get picked up. This one was a pilot season, which is very rare. So the odds of it getting picked up are good because they're not going to waste the time or spend the money on. I think it was 11 episodes. I made $4,850 in this chair, in my underwear, using this mic. So now, of course, I don't get gigs like that every fucking week. But um, that's why I don't do the road that much. Well, I mean, bring it up to the mothership, dingbat. I'm willing to do it um, without stepping on Eleanor or Rick's toes. I'm assuming the Comedy Store would ask them first. But I would love to do that. And they have a setup, it's a little different looking than when I was on the Comedy Store Wrestling podcast, but anything's possible. So I'll keep you updated on that Tennessee theater gig. We're trying to, some parts of the country, they don't necessarily care if you're a famous comic or not. Because, like in my case, all comedy clubs want is to put the logos of the networks you've been on, because that's enough to draw people in. So in my case, Roast Battle was on Comedy Central. So there goes that logo. I was on Real Rob on Netflix. So there's the Netflix logo. The Jellies, the cartoon I'm in, is on 3 networks: HBO Max, right? I guess it's called Max, Adult Swim, and the Cartoon Network. So those 3 logos could be put up. And then I'm dying up here at Showtime. So the logos. I have a fair amount of logos that you could slap on the poster. Well, tweet it out, dingbat. See, that's how stuff gets happening. At clubs, um, and TV shows, they have social media people who specifically look, and if someone goes, "Hey, at Earl Skakel should be on this show," excuse me, I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to be on it, but it's all about brand and name awareness. I've not been to the mothership yet. People ask me. And the truth is, I don't like a lot of people there. So I didn't want to hang out with them in Los Angeles. I certainly am not going to get on a fucking plane to hang out with them. Um, I mean, I do miss my good friends, Carrie, who is the bar manager at the mothership. If you ever go there, please look for the girl with purple hair. She's the fucking best. Um, Adam the Booker, one of my good friends. He's the one who passed me at the Comedy Store. And then, a couple comedy friends. And then that's it. So, and I know Win by Two asked me what comics I don't like, but I'm not going to list open mic comics who are up Rogan's ass. What up, Trip to My Lou? We're at about an hour and 20 minutes here. We're going to do about 10 more minutes. Daddy is in need of his afternoon nappy. Yeah, but like, dude, I'm telling you, dingbat, it's all about social media. I mean, people have gotten on TV shows because someone said, "Hey, put so and so on at midnight." Like, that's the hot new show right now. So let's get a viral campaign going. If you guys tweet or IG, get Earl on at midnight. I'm telling you, shit like that works. I can't call them up and say that because I don't have a manager or an agent. So, yeah, I think I do know what you mean, Tigger. Out of control, bro. Out of control. So, if you got any last minute questions, you got 8 minutes before this stream is done. I think we covered all the Vince McMahon stuff. I'm sure there's breaking news. Let me see if anything's breaking. No, I don't think anything else has been breaking. So, but who knows? We might do another stream this weekend if something breaks out. Now, of course, you guys know my flagship stream is Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Um, it's an open forum. We just like to hang out. And let me thank my contributors today. I always like to make sure everyone feels supported and appreciated. Brittany G, thank you. Ryan Boss, Digital Bather, Ryan Boss again, Ross Incognito, and Greg Lamberts. I appreciate the support. Who do you think Joseph Brennan is? No idea. I don't know who Peter Chicken Man Brennan is. Doodle, when is the next time you are going to be on Pat Dixon's show? Probably next week. I think every 2 weeks is good, because me and Pat, we just don't do a half hour. We do like 4 hours. And I've got to build up my cardio for that. But I love Pat. Pat's someone I don't really know very well. But so I was a little worried um, that we wouldn't have good chemistry or something, but we do. So, yeah. I like Pat. I get along with everyone. Like I like Gino, and those guys don't like each other. But I don't. When with like obviously some of my friends are good friends with Jeff Ross. I don't hold it against them. So I don't expect people to carry my feuds, and um, I hope that people don't expect me to carry their feuds. Um, I try and stay out of the fray. I don't really like having enemies. I know with my roast battle character, people probably think, "Oh, he loves stirring the pot," and I really don't. And I really only have two enemies in LA comedy. So um, that's a pretty good record. I know Cat Williams once told me, Earl, if you have 9 haters, get a 10th. Uh, I don't know if I agree with that, but you know, I'm just trying to survive out here in the jungles of LA comedy. And I am most likely going to Sting's final match March 3rd, Greensboro in the Carolinas, because I really do think it's going to be his last match. So, I think Ric Flair's going to wrestle again. Um, I mean, Cat, I don't even think knows my name, but one night at the Comedy Store in the parking lot, he was pretty coherent, and we were talking about something involving haters, and then he got into this little almost Tony Robbins like speech with me, and then 5 minutes later, he was threatening to kill the booker. I think he might have gotten a bad batch, if you know what I'm saying. So, all right, well, we got 4 more minutes, guys, before we take a break, and you guys can lube up for MLC and then whoever else is on. I do appreciate you guys. I'm still trying to fuck with the algorithm in terms of when to go on. I mean, like I said, Sunday nights, 7 p.m. is my usual stream. And then, yeah, I agree with you, Ross. Pew, pew. Thank you, Dingbat. I keep it real, and people confuse my honesty with bitterness, and I'm really the furthest thing from bitter. I'm almost like a more subdued Cat Williams in that interview with Shannon Sharp. I mean, like, how many people would have the balls to call out Rogan for, in his mind, Cat's mind, having unfunny guests? Like, no one would say that because everyone's trying to get on Joe, including myself. But that's why I like Cat. He said something that 99% of most comics would not say. Oh, I'm glad you did too, Chili Boots. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we talk about the dabble versus the least. Thank you, Brittany, as you are. I hope to make your acquaintance one day. We talk a lot about pro wrestling in here because I'm a wrestling fan. Hockey talk is always encouraged. We can talk about 80s movies and 80s music. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Dingbat. I mean, frankly, I'm in the worst category you can be in terms of stand up, older white dude. That is literally the minority in LA comedy. There's me, there's Holtzman, Don Barris, and that's about it. But I'm lucky enough that the booker of the Comedy Store likes what I do, and I still get used a fair amount. So I cannot complain because there's a lot of comics who don't work. And but if you guys, I'll type this in. Crystalia, another great white. Uh, that name's not allowed in this chat. We used to be friends, but I just um, check out if you want to see me. The best representation of me on tape is look up Earl Skakel Shane Doan roast. It's me. I rarely kill, but I was killing on this roast. I was just in the zone. Ryan Boss is back, but Ryan, I'm leaving in 1 minute. I don't know who Billy Montgomery is. But I also have a lot of stand-up clips in the form of reels. Hold on, the TV just came on. This is out of control. Uh, so I don't think he is climbing, to be honest with you. I don't find William Montgomery that funny, to be honest with you. I think it's funny for 5 minutes. And then it's like, okay, do you want to watch this for 45 minutes to an hour? Me personally, I don't. Um, and he was really disrespectful at the Comedy Store when he was here. Shit-faced drunk. He would heckle paid regulars when they were on. And it's like, bro, your Kill Tony time ends your time here. Like when that show's over, you're done here. But if you like him, great. I mean, I know him, but I just I don't think that um, I just I could not listen to that for more than 5 minutes, which I'm sure some people say about me. I mean, that's the great thing about comedy; it's subjective. There's plenty of people who think I'm fucking great. There's probably a few who think I suck. Go on YouTube, Ryan. And if you really want to, I don't get any money for this. The Shane Doan roast is on YouTube, so just look up Shane Doan roast, Earl Skakel, and the Ric Flair roast on Fight TV. Now I don't get any money for that. You might have to subscribe to Fight TV. Um, so this isn't some scam I'm trying to make money on, but I don't I think it's pretty cheap, like $5 or something. Or maybe it's free, I don't know, like, I'm out of the loop. I just got a new smart TV, so, no, Fight TV, I mean, I guess it's an app you can get on your phone or whatever. It's a channel, and they have a lot of wrestling on Fight TV. I think TNA and you can watch a lot of things on it. XPW if you like the violent wrestling. So once again, guys, I'll be at the Comedy Store tomorrow night, closing out the main room, which is usually a very very fun show. Um, so if you are in LA, um, come on, boss, come on down. And thank you again for all the supporters, the tippers. I plan on using all the super chat money to put back into the technological aspects of this stream. You know, maybe a new iMac and a better streaming camera. I mean, I think I finally have Pavel. Yeah, come on down. Message me on Instagram. I'll set you guys up on the list. Thank you, Doodle. And oh my God, is that the real Z Man, or is this a phony sit down Zumach? Have to thank Ryan Boss, $10. Ryan, you're too kind to me. Um, and I'll thank before I go. I'll thank my tippers once again. Fan funding. Thank you, Brittany G, Ryan Boss, Digital Bather, Ross Incognito, Greg Lambert, and Ryan Boss again. You know, you guys are making the daddy man a little richer than he was before this stream. Check out Chad Zumach, Sit Down Zumach, Mondays with Mazer, MLC, you know, the Z Man. Uh, you know, maybe we'll get a Zumach bump. Maybe we'll get to 40 people. Maybe I'll stay on another minute, even though I'm fading. I haven't had a caffeine drink in about 3 hours. I might have to spray some water on my face. This is a look behind the circle. This is my spritzer. All right. Daddy's back in business. Now I'm going to end the stream now. But I thank you guys very much for chiming in. MLC is on, and I think about 30 minutes. Check that out. Chad is the OG Mud Shark and one of my longtime comedy soldiers. And who knows? Never say never to another Zumach Skakel collaboration. It'll have to be the right subject because I'm Dabble versus Jason. I like to lurk. That world is too vicious for me. I like to stay in the shadows. I'm like the Mossad. I lurk in the background. But thank you guys for listening. I had fun. You know, this might be maybe Friday mornings before MLC comes on. You know, we'll just come in here and kibitz. Thank you, Gold Folds. I don't know. All right. See you later, Gold Folds. In and out. I like your style. Never say never, Dingbat. I don't know if he's saying I have vocal fry. Yeah, but I'm not really in the Dabbleverse. I'm a man. I work alone like Schwarzenegger's unit in Predator. I'm a rescue team, not assassin. And I realize my numbers could probably be 10 times what they are now if I got into the roasting and the drama and I'm 55, man. I don't have the energy for it. You know, 10 years ago maybe I'd be talking shit about everyone and I just can't, man. It's just not interesting to me. And there's better people who it is interesting for, and they're just better um, at it. So, um, I think the universe of streaming is, um, there's enough pie for us to all eat. So follow me everywhere, guys. At Earl Skakel, EarlSkakel, for everywhere from Facebook to Twitter to Instagram to Patreon to Cameo, uh, PayPal, uh, you know. But think of me as William Zoom said, as your bartender. And if you like what I do, tip me. If you don't like what I do, be like Goals Foles One and just come in, say the sound sucks, and leave. What can I do? I can't get a better mic than this. So I don't have vocal fry, bitch. So I love you all. Share this if you like, or just hit the like button. And I appreciate all the support. I might do a stream tomorrow. I'll tweet about it. I usually tweet. I'm doing a stream, so follow me on Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube, so you get the notice when I do stream. And I'm trying to fuck with the algorithm. Maybe I'll do a Saturday afternoon stream, try and get in before Brennan's night stream. And that's it, guys. Earl Skakel, 55 years old with a mainly full head of hair. Happy Friday.